Hey guys, this is Peta. I think today's going to be a little bit of a shorter video. We'll have to see. Just see how long I talk for. Um, as you can see, I'm using a Lightmatica just because this is a big project. As you can see, I've kind of started here, but we're going to be covering this entire thing with mud and I've built a custom lake bed. And I think if we go down here, all of these red stuff is what we need to mine. All the red and pink. And then all the blue is kind of where the lake bed's going to be laid out. So anything pink we need to be mining. And so you can see we have a lot of stuff to do. Probably will not get it all done in this video, but I do just kind of want to, start on it. It's been kind of busy lately, so I think the last episode was uploaded like a week ago now. But I just want to say, I'm not gone, I'm not dead, I'm still here. Just been working, and Thanksgiving's coming up tomorrow, so hope if you're watching this and you're from America, happy Thanksgiving, because you might not see this until tomorrow. Anyways, to kind of talk about something, something that, I've kind of been thinking about, which I think I said for all these other videos, but that's learning to appreciate the small things. I feel like somehow, someway, we kind of learn that, a lot of our happiness is going to come from these big moments in our life, right? Like, graduating high school, getting into a relationship, getting a job that we've always wanted. But I don't like that because I think it kind of causes a lot of people, myself included, to kind of have those goals overshadow like the small stuff in life. And I just feel like it's a very bad thing that people get in this mindset of, and this makes all of, the smaller things that we do, it kind of makes them seem insignificant, and it makes it feel like, they don't feel important enough to be happy over. For example, I think most people, most of our happiest memories come from, things we didn't even think about at the time would be, like, our memories, right? Like, for example, I used to play games with my friends basically every day after high school, back in my sophomore and junior years, and it was a lot of fun. And it was never something I really, paid much attention to. Like, I had a lot of fun with it, but it's not something that I would have thought would have been, life-changing for me. But, now that we've all graduated and we're going to our own colleges and we have our own jobs and, there's people with relationships and all of this stuff, there's been a lot less time for us to all hang out together. And, I miss it. I won't lie. I miss it. It's something that I kind of had every day, so I didn't really think much about, but now that I don't have it, it's kind of like something that I wish I had appreciated more, right? Because I think I ended up getting fixed on, graduating, and so I kind of put more focus into school, and I kind of lost sight of those smaller things, like hanging out with my friends. Although lately I've been hanging out with my friends more, like playing games with them, and it's been nice. But, it's such a rare occasion to be able to play with my friends nowadays that I think I've learned to appreciate it more. Now I recognize, oh, this isn't a very common thing to, have, so I'm gonna, appreciate it more when I get that chance to play with them. But, I didn't know it, but those are, some of the best years of my life, right? And I really didn't notice it until after it had passed. So I want to give some advice to anyone who's maybe still in high school, or, this can apply to, people that are out of high school. You could be in college, you could be working a 9 to 5, whatever. Learn to appreciate the smaller things like that. um, take a minute, slow down, kind of think about, all these, like for me, I've kind of focused on the daily routines that I have, right? Waking up and, going to work, getting home from work, and, I'm tired, so I take a nap or I, relax in bed and stuff. Like, those are small things that I think, you don't really notice as much because they're kind of a routine that you might do every so often, but they actually do mean a lot. I think about, like, how nice I feel after taking a nap after a long day of work or something like that. And it really kind of helps put into perspective, like, this small thing can be very, satisfying, right? It can be very, fulfilling, right? I don't need to focus on, graduating college or, getting a really good job or anything like that, because I can just kind of focus on this small thing that I have the ability to, enjoy every day or every few days. And I think even with relationships, I think this is another thing too, especially like in a talking stage. I've only ever had 2 girlfriends, so, maybe I don't have enough experience on this subject, but I felt like with my talking stages, I kind of rushed things, or I kind of like, I wanted to get straight to like a confession, or, like going to dating, right? And it's not really my style, but I kind of just felt like I, like, oh, I want this relationship. All my friends have relationships. All my, like ever since I've been a kid, I've wanted like, a relationship, right? It's just something that most people want. But I feel like I kind of missed out on all of the smaller things, like, something simple like getting a compliment at school from my crush, or like, just like maybe having like an awkward moment where, you share a moment of very, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, like having moments that only you two know, right? Like, I've had a couple of those where it's like, I have an experience with one of my crushes where it's like, this is something that we can both laugh at, and it's something that only 2 of us know about. But the thing is, I rushed past that, and I kind of, I think I missed a lot of those opportunities. So, I've been working on that recently, kind of just taking things slower and really learning to appreciate the stuff that, I didn't really appreciate in the past. And, overall, I've just been taking my life a lot slower. I think, taking a break or a gap semester for college, just kind of, I've had this routine that I like, and it makes me feel nice. It's something I get to just do to help slow things down and take things one at a time. Stuff like feeding my dogs and kind of like seeing how like giddy they get when, they're gonna get some food. It brings me happiness, and so it's like stopping to just kind of enjoy that a little bit longer. It's a very nice experience. And even like my Minecraft world, kind of doing something like this, like mining. It's not something I really consider like something I'd want to do, but it's something I have to do, and I've noticed it's very satisfying to mine stuff, especially like with like this Efficiency 5 shovel where I can insta-mine all of these, dirt and sand blocks. Sorry, you guys are in the way. There's a lot of like boxes on my screen right now, so I'm sorry if it's kind of overwhelming. But yeah, I think it's just kind of, I think it's been a lot nicer to take it slower, and I'd recommend, for any of you, especially if things are stressful, right? Like if you're stressed for any exams or, any assignments you have. I guess most people, at least in America, are out of school right now because of Thanksgiving break. But, maybe you have something to do when you get back. Don't stress too much about it, right? You know, just kind of take a breather, focus on some stuff that you might want to do, right? Kind of take your day a little bit slower and kind of think about the stuff you're doing. It's been a very calming experience for me. And I would just recommend it for anyone who is feeling a little bit or a little bit overwhelmed right now. Just know that everything's going to be okay. Some things don't work out, but most things do. And even if the things don't work out, things happen, things change, right? A couple months ago, I was really stressed out over a lot of stuff, and I didn't feel like it was going to end. Like, I thought it was going to be something that was permanent, but slowly over time, there's a creeper there. Sorry. Slowly over time, I kind of... Hello, sorry, you're interrupting me. But over time, I kind of realized, like, things pass. You know, not everything lasts forever. That includes the bad things, right? Sorry, there's a lot of mobs here. I should sleep. But yeah, you know, so if you, like I said, if you're feeling overwhelmed, right, it's not going to stay like that. It might be a while, but, you know, you're not going to be experiencing this for the rest of your life. There's better days ahead. I think I kind of diverted topics a little bit, but I don't think that's a big issue, you know. Do what makes you happy. And I know that sounds like a very, like, obvious thing, right? But if you're not happy with something, do what makes you happy, because it's, at the end of the day, right, you live for yourself. You know, like, for example, right, I might have talked about this a couple videos ago. Okay, you guys are really annoying me right now. I recently went through a major change, switching from chemistry to accounting, just because I think it's something I'd like to try out. But, you know, I wasn't really happy with chemistry, but I think I'll be a lot happier with something a lot simpler like accounting. And it's greatly improved how I feel about my future. And I think it's something that, you know, these small things that can change too, right? Like, if you're not happy with the lifestyle choice you have, right, just do what makes you happy. You know, like, if you feel like you're not getting enough enjoyment out of video games, or, you know, out of your social life, right, take that step and, you know, put yourself out there. You know, maybe try to find a new hobby, experiment with some different stuff. And I think you'll notice it kind of vastly improves your mood most of the time. I've been feeling a lot more positive about myself. And I think it's kind of just a good thing to practice in your everyday life, especially, you know, if you're still young, right? It's a good habit to get in the... Well, it's a good thing to get in the habit of starting, right? But yeah, that being said, I think that's about all I have to talk about. I do want to mention, I did mention it before at the start of the video, right, with the video schedule being kind of whack, but I don't want this to feel like something that I have to upload. I don't want to feel like I have to upload stuff to, you know, appease you guys. I mean, obviously I want to appease you guys, but, you know, I don't want to feel pressured to upload something I don't want to. Yeah, I think that's kind of the point when it stops becoming a hobby and starts becoming something I have to feel like I have to do, like a chore. That's when I kind of, that's when I, you know, want to take a step back. But mainly, I've been planning out this lake project because it's something I'm really excited about. I've seen the end product because I've been working on it in like a build planning world, if I had to call it like that. But it's been taking a long time. I still have to do all this mining. I still have to, you know, lay out all of the mud on the bottom. It's kind of a lot of stuff to do. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna be busy. I've got work, and then I've got to, I'm gonna eat with my family. So this probably won't be done until maybe Friday or something like Saturday. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out, and I just want to make a good video about it. So, but yeah, it's kind of something that's just taking a bit of time. Took a lot more time than I thought it would, too. But it's something I'm excited to show you guys. So, and low-key, I've kind of been thinking about it, and I might just start doing more, or not, completely replacing this style of video, but I think it'd be fun to do some more, like, just Minecraft-centered stuff, where, maybe I don't have to talk about anything deep. I like talking about deep stuff like that, but, sometimes I just kind of want to play Minecraft, too. I think it'd be fun to just make a Minecraft video every now and then. That's kind of just me doing a project or anything like that. But yeah, that being said, I think it's going to do it for this video. I kind of rambled on about some stuff, but I'm really excited to show you guys this end product. Also, I do want to say, I also kind of want to do more Minecraft stuff because I feel like this style is kind of maybe a little bit unsatisfying, right? Especially like this, where I was like, I said I'm gonna start mining some stuff, and I do, but there's also a lot of stuff that I still have to do. I feel like it'd be fun to just get one project done in a video instead of having to, start a project and do it off camera. That being said, I think I could do some. Like I could actually do a video about that where, just maybe have a time lapse of this, right? So it's not an actual video where I talk and stuff, it's just kind of a video where it shows me doing what I'm best at, which is, doing little projects every now and then. But I think I'm still going to be uploading these, like, talking videos, I don't have to call them. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video, guys. I promise I'll have some uploads out again. I know this is, like, probably the longest I've gone without an upload, but I've got some stuff coming, so don't worry. I'm also going to be starting to play some of the games that have been suggested. If you're watching this and you haven't joined the Discord server, I'm just going to plug it because we've got a great group of people there. And also, there's a free Java realm for anyone interested. Yeah, that being said, I think I'll see you guys in the next video. Like I said, I promise, hopefully not too long. Just need to get this project done so I can show you guys. And that's it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.